This is exactly how I built a $600K a year agency, coaching, consulting business, whatever you want to call it. $52,000 a month cash collected, $85K in revenue, which is technically $1 million business. And I have this 27-page document that shows exactly my entire journey and everything that I did, so you can just copy me word for word. But pretty much, I didn't initially start with consulting or agency, right? I kind of accidentally stumbled into the space when people started coming to me and wanting to pay me. So I eventually started offering the service, right? Originally, I started with a brand and I was running paid ads for this brand. As you can see, we spent $20,000 and I had almost 30K followers. I think I actually did have 30K and I lost some, but I had no audience, no personal brand. I was just marketing with paid ads and we did over 500K in revenue, as you could see. And I wasn't doing any coaching, consulting. I wasn't really posting any personal brand content. I was just doing this, right? I was just running my brand. That was my business model. So my brand was doing really, really good at the time and I was like 16 years old. So I wanted to try something else and expand to grow my personal brand because I knew that was the future. So I started doing something simple. I started posting YouTube videos of my results and what I was already doing, right? Not tutorials, not coaching stuff. There was no call to action. These were just simple videos showing what ads were working for me, how I structured my website, my funnel, what didn't work for your brand, and what scaled your clothing brand, right? And I posted this on YouTube, and at first it was nothing. Like nothing crazy happened. I didn't get that many views. I had a very small audience, right? The first 24 hours of my first video, I got 31 views, right? But something started happening because I consistently was posting videos, right? People started DMing me, hey, how can I do this with my brand? And I've been learning how to run ads from your videos, right? People were learning from me. As you could see, I even had a semi-viral video, right? Got 11,000 views, got 200 subscribers, got me a lot of clout, as you can call it, through YouTube specifically, right? And as I kept posting these YouTube videos and my different results, I started getting a lot of DMs for people to run their ads. And I actually had a client already because I wanted to start running ads for other brands. So this was perfect, right? Oh, people want me to run their ads. I'm going to start my agency. And the YouTube was building trust around me about my results and what I can do. And I started to realize that. And that's when inbound marketing really came in, right? It wasn't aggressive. It was just consistent. I kept uploading every week. And I decided to add a little type form for people to fill out, right? No crazy funnel, no landing page, just a simple type form. It just asked who they were, what their brand was, how did they get there, how much were they making, and what issue did they want to solve, right? There was no booking call link. There was no call. I literally just looked at type form and I called these people up and that was it. I did not sell anything. There was no hard pitch. And I was just explaining what I literally did to the public. And this got 600 submissions. Do you understand? 600 potential clients that can charge $2,000 a month on a retainer, right? I did no outreach. There was no cold DMs, no cold calls other than my first client, which was actually a cold DM. It was literally just a wait list, right? And that's when I realized something important. YouTube didn't just change the game. It didn't just change that it got me more clients. It completely changed the quality of clients. I could get the top tier, best quality clients because I had a list of 600 people and I can pick and choose who I want to work with. And at this point, I decided to double down on YouTube, right? Not by posting randomly, but by posting breakdowns, results, my funnels, and actual numbers, showing real data to these people. And every time I showed real data, interest spiked. Every time I explained how something worked, trust increased. As you could see right here, how to build a Shopify website. And this was actually my website for the brand. This got 44,000 views. And funnily enough, I actually got 1.7K in ad revenue, which cool, I'll take that. And to this day, this video is still getting views, right? But the best part about YouTube is that the close rate is so high because you already established trust. They know what you're offering. They know what you're selling. They know all about you and everything that you've done. They've seen your testimonials, your case studies, your work, and now they're just there to buy your product or service, right? The call is not a pitch. They already know the pitch. They're just there to confirm and buy your service, right? And as I posted more, I decided to raise my prices from, $1,000 running ads to $2K a month. Objections went down. I talked to more qualified people. The calls were shorter and I was closing a bunch of people. I was consistently making 10K a month from these clients at this point. And it's not because I became any better at sales. It's because people literally came to the call pre-qualified. And the system was insanely simple, right? I had YouTube, I had a type form, I would call them myself and I would close them, right? No complicated funnel, no 20-step nurture sequence. It was just super simple to do. And every time I leaned more into YouTube, more people recognized me, more people started to trust me, and more people applied, right? And that's the compounding effect that people rarely talk to. People start to trust you. Someone DM'd me the other day, been watching all your content, man. You've really inspired me and brought me so much value. I appreciate you. And that is a perfect buyer right there because he trusts me and he knows that I'm good at what I do. And that's why my business scaled past random months, right? I had content that builds authority. Authority creates inbound interest and inbound interest creates conversions. As long as I kept uploading YouTube videos, I was making a bunch of money. And the biggest thing that I see that most consultants and agents do, the mistake that they do is they literally do the opposite, right? They start posting YouTube videos without any results. I documented my entire process, my come up from zero. I showed results. I showed YouTube videos. Even when I didn't have the best results, I still showed them. And YouTube documentation builds immense trust, and trust gets you inbound leads, and inbound leads, you have a great business, right? You don't want to constantly be outreaching, trying to find clients. That sucks, right? There was no tricks, no hacks. I was literally just good at something and I was showing other people how I do it. And once YouTube was consistently bringing inbound leads, something shifted again. They didn't just want to learn ads anymore. They wanted to learn how I was doing it in general, right? How to start the entire brand. And at first, I didn't plan to coach, but I just decided to, hey, people are asking me questions like, hey, how are you doing this? How can you walk me through my ad account? Can you help me fix this? Just these small things. I decided to start coaching these smaller brands on how to run the ads themselves, right? It wasn't a course. It wasn't a program. It was literally just one-on-one help. They would screen share. I would go through their ad account and I would help them to actually do what they wanted to do. And this did two things at the same time. It created a new revenue stream and it positioned me as an authority. And I started making 10K per month just from this alone, right? Coaching. And the funny thing is I was selling this for $500 and I had like 20 people and I was getting around 10K from that, but it was so cheap. I was undervaluing myself because I didn't realize that I just stepped into a gold mine. But as more people went through this, I noticed something else. People weren't just interested in running the ads, but they were interested in how I actually built up my agency. And the same question came up. How do I run ads for clients now, right? How do you get clients? How do you price? How do you actually close these people? And my audience slowly started to shift to an agency-spaced audience, not just clothing brand. And these were real business questions. So naturally, I just continued to shift my YouTube channel and I started posting results of my clients' ad accounts, how to structure an agency, how to sell services, how to land clients right here. And this absolutely went crazy because people already watched me, right? They knew my results. They knew I ran ads. They knew I generated revenue, and the authority just transferred to the actual agency scene, which is really tough to compete in. As you can see, I had 6K views. I got $100 in ad revenue, but this landed me a bunch of actual students. And that is exactly when my agency actually shifted from, hey, let me just run your ads to this is how I run ads for my clients. This now became a consulting, a coaching offer, right? It was the same idea, but I took it to the next level. And that's when the evolution started to happen, right? I started coaching people on how to start their own agency. But there's the key part. I didn't become some random guru. I had proof, I had results, I had a public track record for over a year of what I was doing. Everything was already documented. And this is what pushed my business to $50,000 per month. Here's what a month looked like. I already showed you this. $52,000 in cash collected, right? This was 66 booked calls. Not that many. 66 calls, 52 calls were taken, 24 closed, 85K in rev, and 52K in cash collected. Close rate, a little bit low. We could probably get this up to 60%. In some months, it was 60%. Close rate and show rate was 80%. And this didn't come from me chasing people. It came from people that already know what I do. They already trusted me. They knew exactly what I was going to install or teach them, right? And this applied to both agency clients, to both consulting clients, and to also coaching clients, right? And YouTube was literally the entire sales engine for this. It was just the same similar process. I explained what I was doing, I showed what worked, and I broke the numbers down and I answered real problems, and people just genuinely trusted me. Now, I'm going to show you how to install this YouTube system yourself for your own offer, whether you're an agency, whether you're a consultant, whether you're a coach. You can literally copy this and start making significantly more money because YouTube gets you the most qualified people. Screw Instagram Reels, screw TikTok, screw all that stuff. I didn't get a single client from short form social media ever, and I have like 10K followers on IG. YouTube practically scaled up my entire agency, my entire coaching offer, and did all the actual selling for me. And up until this point, I was just posting what actually worked for me, right? But I needed to scale it. I needed to build a system, not just momentum, so I can carry it on and continue doing it. So I broke down exactly what works in YouTube and how to do it, right? Not just content, but how to get quality traffic. By the way, if you want me to do this for you, just book a call down below, but here's the actual breakdown. Now, there's only two ways that people can actually find your videos. So number one is search. For example, somebody looking up how to run ads for my XYZ business or how to start dropshipping. And then there's also browse. This is the recommended section, the YouTube homepage, and the next up video, right? Those are the only two ways. And everything I posted fit into one of these two buckets, right? The search content is really simple. These are videos that people are already looking for, people that have problems, and people type it into YouTube and they want to see your answers. So how to get clients, how to run ads, how to start an agency, how to price my services for my agency, whatever it is. Here's one that ranked number one in search for freelance brand scaling, which is pretty much rebranded SMMA, but I ranked number one for a long time, and this got 80,000 views. I got 1.8K from this vid, and it actually still getting views, right? But these videos, they don't explode fast. They get high intent viewers, and they slowly go up over time, right? These are people who already want a solution to a specific problem, and this gets you consistent traffic and puts people into your funnel. And that is how most people first discover you. You can also do lifestyle content and more general money, business, health topics, but they get you lower intent viewers. This gets you the best, highest intent if you try to rank number one for search. And by the way, when I shifted my agency to lead gen, I can actually show you that I ranked number one for search for another niche. So if you look up how to run Facebook ads for car wrapping, I'm number 3. If you look up how to run Facebook ads for car detailing, I'm pretty sure I'm also number 3. Okay, I'm a little bit lower, but I'm like number 5. And then if you look up how to run ads for car PPF, I'm also number 3. So right here, this got 700 views. It's a 26-minute video, but but it has 47 likes. It has a bunch of comments, and these are people that are super high intent. And I actually closed a few clients from here. If you go to the channel, I had then a testimonial video that these people watched and they came to here. It has 2 likes, so we got 2 really high intent people that actually booked a call. And this was just a simple brand new channel. If I kept uploading in this niche, I would have made a lot of money, but I actually pivoted. But regardless, that's how search works. Now let's talk about browse. Browse works a little bit more different. These are videos that people did not search for, but they click on them because the titles generate curiosity, the topic is relevant, and the thumbnail stops them from scrolling, right? And what browse content does, it builds recognition, it builds authority, and most people that find you on search then get retargeted with these browse videos. And they keep wondering, hey, why do I keep seeing this guy? Maybe he's actually an authority. Maybe I should trust him. Maybe I should watch this video. And this is a video I tried freelance brand scaling for 1 year, and then I showed my results, what I did and all that stuff, and I got 40,000 views. As you can see, browse is the highest one, and it's still getting views to this day. You know, it's a little bit, but this was uploaded actually over a year ago, and it's still getting views, right? And the top of the funnel, I used both search and browse. Search content to pull in people, and browse content to keep retargeting and keeping these people warm. And that's how I entered people into my funnel, into my ecosystem. Because once someone watched a few videos, I changed the goal, right? It wasn't discover anymore. They already know who I am. It was trust. So how do you build trust? You build trust through middle of funnel, right? By solving very, very specific problems for your viewers, not broad topics, but real problems that your viewers are dealing with on the daily. Why are their ads not converting? Why are leads not qualified? Why are calls not closing? Or why is my offer weak? All that stuff. Yeah, in these videos, I literally give away everything. I don't hold anything back. I tell them all the information, all the sauce, and this just builds an immense amount of trust. So if we look up someone like Mark Builds Brands, which has a dropshipping course, he has a lot of middle of funnel videos, right? How to create unlimited hooks with AI. Very, very specific, but and it's only 49 seconds long, but it got 9K views, and these are going to be super, super qualified people. How to test ads post Andromeda update, right? Another very, very specific video that people are having issues with, and this means they're already running ads, they're already making money, and they're trying to figure out how to pivot and how to actually take it to the next level, which again gets you the most qualified people, right? This is where authority is built, and not by saying, hey, I'm an expert and trying to show off, but by literally explaining clearly their problem and the solution to their problem, frameworks, and just breaking things down simply. Because once they implement your solution and it works, they are way more likely to buy whatever you're selling, and they are going to trust you more than they trust their own family, right? And they also start to believe that, hey, this guy definitely knows way more than me. And once you build trust, all you need to do is show them a little bit of proof, and that is where bottom of funnel content is. This is numbers, case studies, testimonials, and results, right? Not flexing, but removing the last little bit of doubt and pushing them to the edge. So a lot of people are already going to book calls from the middle of funnel content. Very, very qualified people. As you can see, imagine this is your funnel, right? Your ICP is this little section inside of the middle funnel, which is pretty much the bottom of funnel. But a lot of people come in through the top funnel, they go down to the middle funnel, and a lot of them book there. But if you want your most qualified ICP to book calls, you want to have testimonial case style videos, right? Where they can figure out what your offer is, how to apply, and all that stuff. So now these are super simple videos where you literally show how you made your clients X amount of money, or how you made your students X amount of money, whatever you're trying to solve, whatever you're selling, you're just showing results of that. Now the important thing is these videos are not posted randomly. They stack together, right? Top of funnel brings in new people with search and browse. Middle of funnel builds trust and it solves their problems, and bottom of funnel actually converts them with proof and makes them buyers. Now all these are run at the same time. It's literally a sales engine that is always live, right? Imagine running paid ads to a VSL. They don't know who you are, they don't know what you're offering, and it's so hard to close these people. And this is literally free. You spend 2 hours a month, post 4 videos every single month, once a week, and you have a non-stop sales engine that is going to constantly get you clients. Even if you get 500 views, think about 500 people on your landing page from an ad. There's a very good chance that one will convert. And the same thing applies to YouTube, except they trust you significantly more, so it's way easier to convert these people. Think about it, a VSL, a landing page to a VSL, an ad to a landing page, which I have done it myself in the past. Your conversion rate, your close rate is going to be around 20%. Our close rate is 50%, and that's kind of on the lower end. You can get up to 60, 70, 80 if you actually are even more depth, if you show more proof. And that is a huge, huge step up and a huge advantage compared to running paid ads or posting short form content where people just want to doom scroll and waste their time. And that's why YouTube works better than also any sort of cold outreach, especially if you don't have much budget for paid ads. And now someone might find you through search, and then someone else might find you through 5 videos that come up on browse, and then they watch your case study and then they buy, right? And this is pretty much the ecosystem, right? They come in, they're cold traffic, then maybe they become warm because they watch a few more videos. Maybe they watch a case study and they're really hot and they buy, or maybe they don't and they kind of forget about you, and then a month later you come up on their browse again and now they're warm again and then they can buy again, right? You're practically retargeting these people for completely free, and this is directly to your ICP, right? And the best part is that the call, it's not not like a first impression. It's not them meeting you. They already know exactly what you're offering. They know how you think. They know your results. They know what you do. And that's why your close rates are so high. Your objections are so low and little. And your calls are short. And all you have to do is show up and close. And the system never changed when I pivoted my niche. When I had the ads agency, I was doing the same thing. And when I was doing coaching for clothing brands, or when I was doing coaching for agencies, I was literally doing the same exact thing. I didn't have to have much change. Obviously, I had a VSL and I had a Typeform still. The only thing that I added is a VSL, and I still had that original Typeform, and the structure stayed the same. The only thing is that my topics of YouTube videos changed, right? So if you're testing out different offers, you could just do the exact same thing. And that's the real YouTube system, right? You don't want to post more BS content. You want to specifically learn how to rank and browse, how to improve your click-through rate, and how to improve your retention so people stay longer and watch more. Now, if you want me to do this for you, just book a call down below. And if you want to do it yourself, you can watch my other videos, which shows exactly how to structure videos and what kind of videos to make. Take care.